living with me, yeah. Cause she know that I'm the man. Said she got a plan and she know me from the gram. Oh man, I think she might could be a fan. Made me think twice, so it might could be a scam. Oh yeah, might be fire. But one thing I hate is a liar. Cause I don't know who you was prior. Tryna set a nigga up, you could try, but whoa, these hoes ain't loyal. Probably took your number, but you know I won't call you. Not a damn point, cause I can't fall for you. They say pussy run the world, can't let it control you or destroy you, yeah. I love all women, I'm 10 steps ahead when I know what y'all doing. Yeah, he a nice guy, but you won't talk to him. Unless he got cash, then you probably gon' screw him. Told her meet me in the bag, that ass fat, and she don't know how to act. When she back a thing up on the nigga, it's a rap. I'm just trying to hit it once, I'ma take it to the bag. She came in with a man, but she living with me, yeah. She know that I'm the man. Said she got a plan and she know me from the gram. Oh man, I think she might could be a fan. Made me think twice, so it might could be a scam. Oh yeah.
She called me the one, said she coming round two. Jordan the threes on my feet, bring the bell bus 4. Got 5 on it, boy, you gon' need a couple more. 6 p.m. now we headed out the door. Lucky number 7, yo, meet up on A Street. Chanel number 9, got her smelling like a pastry. Now we on 10, she was rolling up a great treat, pouring up shot, don't chase me. I got asthma. She was tryna be my babe, ain't no temper. Don't think about it too much like Sanford. I ain't got nothing for a whole.
I told her meet me in the bag, that ass fat and she don't know how to act. When she back that thing up on the nigga, it's a rap. I'm just tryna hit it once, I'ma take it to the bag. And she came in with a man, but she living with me, yeah. Cause she know that I'm the man. Said she got a plan and she know me from the gram. Oh man, I think she might could be a fan. Made me think twice, so it might could be a scam. Oh yeah.
What's up, y'all? It's the Hood Trucker Show, and I'm the Hood Trucker. Keep a problem, though. I keeps a problem. Dumber ass ain't like yo. Dumber ain't a word? That was a word. My bad. Let's see who's in the building. GTM was in the building earlier. I'm not sure if he's back because I had some delays. Been a hell of a day. So I was on go at 9, and then they came in and talking about I gotta move and other shit. Boy. I damn near got in a fight today. On the road shit. Flip me off, you know. I ain't too kind to that because I know all these motherfuckers out here is cowards. Especially ones that woof from the truck like they woof from behind anonymity on YouTube. So, you know, I almost had to let these things go today, but, you know, I had to chill. So, because I was in a hurry. That's it. Let's see, Dr. Waltz in the building. Salute back at you. Appreciate you stopping by. You say, saw Ronald Jones and Kwame's chat. I was trolling. He's a real supporter. Ain't no telling. You know how they do. Ain't no telling. What they say? Ain't no telling what Jack told Helen. Yeah, that's how it go. You know, I mean, look. You can be a supporter. Ain't nothing wrong with supporting Crummy 6ix9ine, the deputy. I know Beware, he might have an issue too. You're gonna have to rebuild the channel because they didn't struck him half to death over there, so you gotta rebuild that. You know, I guess sometimes you gotta learn the ropes and learn what YouTube allows and what they don't allow. You know, it's a learning curve. You gotta find out. Let's see, Dr. Walls is the one that went face to face with Kwame and you owned him. Salute. I missed that. I'm gonna have to go catch that. Which was that on live? I'm sure it was on live, but let's see if that's the real account. I listen. I've been out the Kwame Brown loop for a while now. I got so much going on. I don't have time for nothing. I barely have time for the stuff for my own content, let alone looking at somebody else's. But yeah, I mean, salute to you. If that's what happened. You know, we support all Crummy 69 non-supporters. We're supposed to. So look, let's get into the topic. Biden's Supreme Court of the United States nominee blocks $22 million from Black Lockheed Martin workers. Yeah, look, the internet's not the greatest. I tested it. It tested good, but I don't know. As long as the audio is good, don't worry about the face. Just look at the audio, because you know most people hide their face anyway. So just act like I'm just hiding my face up there. So look, it's a little crazy. Let's see. Debo the guy, Joe Biden gotta go. I would agree. And apparently, let's see. Trucker, how much more money does it take to fuel your truck up? Oh, I put in 200 gallons today. Normally it's right around, because I don't really fuel up in California that much. I mean, if I absolutely need some, I do, but I mostly get it outside of California. So as soon as I get like Arizona or something like that, I'm filling up. So most of the time I'm usually pretty empty, and I got a 200-gallon tank. So if I'm putting like 180, 190 gallons in there, because you know I run it all the way out, it's probably between the 600 and 750 range, something like that, depending on how much I put in, you know, just the little changes in prices and stuff. So, you know, I say between 650 and 750, something like that. Today I put 190, so right around 190, 180, 190. It was $1,100. So probably in the neighborhood of $400 to $500 more. I knew, I didn't even really check the price. It's probably $5 plus. I didn't really check the price. I knew it was going to be, Arizona's going to be cheaper than California, so it didn't matter. Then I have to fill up anyway, because I need to go from Arizona all the way into California and to come back out of California. So that's why I usually just fill up, you know, where it's the cheapest, and the closest, which is Arizona, and then, you know, it does better. Always better than California. Yeah, that's insane. It's like, it's crazy. Joe Biden could fix it, but he won't, because he said you should never, you should always take advantage of a good crisis or something like that. Listen, they politicians, man. They politicians, and they know, like, behind the scenes stuff. They got inside information. They know what's gonna happen before it happened, you know, and it's crazy, and they take it full advantage. You know, like same thing with the stock market. You know, they in there buying. They basically insider trading. You think any of them gonna see any jail time for that? Hell no. Companies are losing money. Not oil companies. They ain't. Not anything associated with gas. It ain't. Because that, look, when the gas is up, business is booming. When the higher the gas price at the pump, the better it is for business. As a matter of fact, I think, was that 2013 when gas? I mean, I was on the East Coast at the time, and fuel was above $5 in too. Like it's Arizona's probably right over $5. I know for sure it is in California. Joe Biden is doing these press conferences and calling the companies out on live TV. That shit don't work. You got to put pen to paper. He did the same thing with the hurricane. Yeah, their philosophy is don't basically don't sleep on a good crisis because we can get some money. It's all about money. It's all about money. See, he said insurance companies need to pay up. They didn't do shit Biden wanted them to do. I don't know. I'm really not trusting of Joe Biden because what he says in the public is not necessarily what's going on like behind the scenes. So everybody but oil companies are losing money. That's what I meant. Yeah. But guess what? The oil companies know you gotta pay that. It ain't the first time. Like I was watching some stuff where they was going back in time. So it was like the 70s or the 80s. They had a fuel crisis to where it was so bad that they was rationing people's gas. Like you go to the gas station, you could only get 10 gallons at a time. It was that bad. If you rationing shit like that, you probably have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't have the supply. But a lot of times, OPEC, I don't know if you heard this, but OPEC, a lot of times what they do to raise the price, they just stop producing oil. And it jacks the price up because, they have to limit the supply, which jacks the price up. And they do that shit on purpose. 100%. You see, Biden low-key is worse than Trump. At least Trump let his orange nuts hang and ain't hold back. Biden up there finna suffer and fall off. But see, he's like, and we're gonna talk about a lot of that stuff, right? We're gonna talk about a lot of that stuff. Because look, I'm side-eyeing this dude for this nominee. We're gonna get into it. I'm side-eyeing this dude for the nominee. He bringing up the gas prices. We got plenty of oil. We could produce more oil. They over there looking for other countries because they want to preserve the oil that we got. I get it. But he's over there talking to them eastern countries over there to get them to try to produce more oil so we can buy it. It's all kind of crazy shit going on. I heard that he is about to give Ukraine $7 million just because. So I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with this dude sending my tax dollars over to Ukraine after I didn't see how they're treating black people over there. I like that. On top of the fact that if you talking about, you try to hide him about some reparations, he got to have a committee. He got to do this. They got no money when it comes to blacks. They didn't even include us in that Asian hate crime bill, as if we don't get hate crimes on us. Why we couldn't? Talking about. But look, I don't know how well y'all know this Ketanji Brown Jackson, but as the title says, she blocked $22 million from black Lockheed Martin workers because how the $22 million came about was that they came to their lawyers, the plaintiff's lawyers and the defendant's lawyers. They came to an agreement of $22 million, and Ketanji Brown Jackson stepped in and blocked that. And I got some clips. We're gonna read the first black a federal judge in Alabama wrote Joe Biden a letter, said, hey, that ain't the one you want, but that's exactly the one you want. And look, we're going to go over a lot of stuff just about how I'm suspicious because you got Kamala Harris in there, married to a white dude. You got Ketanji Brown Jackson, just so happens to be married to a white dude. And on top of that, she's related to Paul Ryan through marriage. Her husband, brother, so it's kind of confusing. When I read it, it was kind of confusing. But her husband's brother is the brother-in-law of Paul Ryan's wife, however that works out. But either way, they're all related. If you married to him or whatever, she has some type of relationship with Paul Ryan, who's used to be the Republican Speaker of the House. So listen, I did a podcast the other day, and it just out of the blue, something just compelled me to make that podcast, and it was basically explaining how and why the Democrats and Republicans are almost exactly the same. And in that I explained that Republicans ignore you because they ain't got nothing for you. They know they ain't finna get your vote. And Democrats ignore you because they know they got your vote. Two different reasons why they ignore you, but they both ignore you. Gay people get more laws before us. Hell, Asians getting every bill known to man when they got money. But did you hear this, though? Speaking of gay people, did you hear this? It's not the White House. It's the Swirl House. Did you hear this, though? Joe Biden, I want to say it was an executive order, but Joe Biden, I think it was an executive order that he's going to give LGBT community widows and widowers money because if their state didn't allow them to get married, they, like I said, later on found out that it was unconstitutional. They can't do that. But they found what he's proposing to do, or maybe he's even done it already, is he's going to give the survivors of that LGBT relationship, if he's going to give them money if the partner died before they had a chance to get married because their civil rights were violated, because it was unconstitutional for those states to be withholding marriage from them. That's crazy. All the civil rights that has been violated against black people, and we come at you, we holler at you about some reparations. You got to think about it. You got to put a committee together. You got to do all this shit. But let the LGBT community say something. Here you go. Let the Asians say something. Here you go. That's crazy. And guess what? Joe Biden, the Caucasian in charge, has put two first-time black women in positions: the vice president, and now she hasn't given confirmed yet, but it looks like she will. And now the first black Supreme Court judge in the history of America. And guess what? Both of them motherfuckers married to white dudes. Is that a coincidence? Does anybody think that's a coincidence? Because I sure the fuck don't. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. Hell no. Oh yes, this motherfucker right here. Trucker, did you see the Jussie Smollett trial? I didn't see the trial. This shit was a circuit. It was like a gay Michael Jackson trial. I didn't see that, but did you see he got sentenced today? He got sentenced today. I seen that. And he stood up in court and said, I'm not, they gave him, this was 150 days, a whole 150 days, which he's not going to have to serve the whole 150 days. But he got 150 days, stood up in court and said, I'm not suicidal. And it's because if something happened to me in there, I didn't do it. On 150 days. Get your raggedy ass out of here. Like Dave Chappelle called him, Jesse Smouye. Get your Jesse Smouye ass out of here, man. I'm not suicidal. You better not be suicidal for 150 days. And he did it so dramatic. You can tell he was an actor. He did it so dramatic. I mean, you know, he's an actor. Oh, see, he yelling because of Sandra Bland and Epstein. But you know, Sandra Bland, I forgot what they arrested her for, but they listen, they I mean, that was a crazy situation right there. And you know, again, I'm sure they violated her civil rights. Absolutely. I don't know if the family settled with them, they sued them. No, I should have paid more attention to that. But you know, I'll be on the road doing all kind of shit. But as far as Epstein goes, I mean, Epstein had too much shit on these politicians. You absolutely know that it's gonna knock him off. And I'm surprised. What's her name still walking around here? Because she knows where all the secrets are. She was right there. That's the right-hand man right there. I'm surprised they probably threatened her for something. Because, you know, she got family and all that. Listen, they got the Prince. What's that Prince dude? They got him over there spooked. They want to get him over here so bad to do an interview. It's incredible. He's like, nope. I'm going to be right here in the palace. Fuck y'all. I ain't going nowhere. Got him over there taking a picture with his whole arm around a minor. Said them gangster disciples and black disciples gonna love him. So is he in it's in Cook County? Is that Illinois? Is that Chicago, right? That's Chicago, right? Yeah, I think that is. Absolutely. Hell yeah, they're gonna have a field day with him. But they probably gonna put him in a solitary confinement somewhere or something. So yeah, but I saw that, man. I don't know if you got to go see that his reaction to the sentence. 150 days. He's probably not. He's not going to serve nowhere near that. He'll probably get kicked out after like 30 or 60 days, probably, because they got overcrowding. They still deal with the COVID stuff and all that. So, he's not gonna serve nowhere near that, man. That's crazy. You talking about I ain't suicidal? You shouldn't. Show the fuck shouldn't be. If you're gonna be running around, formulating these elaborate crimes and writing checks for them and shit, you better not be. You better not be suicidal, you motherfucker. So look, let's get into the letter that the first black judge to the Supreme Court of Alabama, he wrote to Joe Biden to get him to not to not get him. Let's see, Ketanji 70. Damn, which one is it? Damn, which one was it? God damn it. Let's see. I got so many tabs open here. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Right here. Nope, that's the wrong one. That is not the one. Maybe it's this one. Yes, it is. Okay. Now we got it. Okay. I need to make this large. Okay. So this gentleman right here. Let's get, because I'm gonna use this stuff. It's called Black Power Media. I think his channel's called. what is his? Yeah, Black Power Media. He's got a full thing. We're just gonna walk really quickly through the letter because I didn't have time to find it online, and so I found him and he was reading it. So we're gonna let him read that, and so let's see what the letter says.
Noted retired federal judge U.W. Clemens had written to back in early February to President Biden, say with a warning. So as Judge Clemens writes, "Dear Mr. President, as one who has labored in the vineyards of civil rights all his life, I rejoice in your determination to appoint the first Black female to the United States Supreme Court. In the tradition of Thurgood Marshall, hopefully she will stand tall for equal justice for all and equality in the workplace. As you consider the candidates for your legacy appointment to the highest court of the land, it is entirely appropriate for you to take into account not simply what each aspirant has done for her own career, but equally so what she has done for the cause of justice and equality."
Now, he about to get into it. And the name of the case is Ross versus Lockheed. And that was the workers, a class action lawsuit that was against the Lockheed Martin. That's the defense contractor who make airplanes and all kinds of stuff. And they was treating Black workers pretty badly, and so they filed a class action lawsuit. And we're gonna hear what Ketanji Brown Jackson felt about giving Black people $22 million.
Based on her conduct in Ross versus Lockheed, I strongly believe that Circuit Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson should not be appointed by you as the first Black female justice of the Supreme Court.
This is the first Black federal judge from Alabama, and he's saying, based on this case right here, and this is a fellow judge, so he knows more than anybody. He most certainly knows more than me. And his take on that, the first Black, he was also a first Black federal judge in his particular realm of judges. And he's saying that please don't nominate her because she basically is not going to be good for Black people. Let's continue.
Of the United States. The Ross case was brought as a 2016 class action on behalf of 5,500 Black workers of Lockheed Martin Corporation, the nation's largest federal contractor. Before filing the lawsuit, lawyers for the Black plaintiffs negotiated a settlement with Lockheed Martin, which provided for a reformed evaluation system, the cornerstone of pay and promotion decisions, and $22 million to be distributed to the Black workers.
Now, based on this right here, that should have been where shit ended, because the Ross case was okay. The nation's largest federal contractor, before filing a lawsuit, lawyers for the Black plaintiffs negotiated a settlement with Lockheed Martin, which provided for reform evaluation system, a cornerstone of pay and promotion decisions, and $22 million. Right? That should have been the end of it. That should have been the end of it, because it says before they filed the lawsuit, they had already come with a settlement. They had already negotiated a settlement before they even came with the lawsuit. And guess what Ketanji Brown Jackson did? Now, she shouldn't even have said nothing. Why you? Okay, they agree on the shit. Why are you intervening? But we're gonna see.
When the lawyers presented the settlement to Judge Jackson, she incredibly refused to approve the settlement because, in her view, there were no common factual questions. Then, more incredibly, she denied the plaintiff their fundamental right to take discovery of Lockheed Martin's books and records as they sought to prove class action status. Finally, by taking 54 days to issue her memorandum opinion accompanying her order denying class certification, she effectively aborted plaintiff's rights to appeal her class certification decision under Rule 23F of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure.
Now, what he just was saying was that she took way too long. Well, she said that that the reason she refused to approve the settlement because her view that there was no common factual questions. I don't even know what that means, but they already came with a settlement, so why does it even matter to her? And then he says, more incredibly, she denied the plaintiff's fundamental right to take discovery of Lockheed Martin's books and records as they sought to prove class action status. Why you do that? Why you blocking shit? You know, discovery. They had the fundamental right to do so, and she blocked it. Now, these are black workers, by the way. She's also married to the white dude. But these are black workers. She's a black woman who's married to the white dude. She's blocking the black workers, though. Finally, after taking 54 days to issue her memorandum opinion accompanying her order denying class certification, which means that she didn't allow them to even formulate a class action suit, she effectively aborted plaintiff's right to appeal her class certification decision under Rule 23 of the federal thing. So she took so fucking long. The fucking the fucking time frame to which they had to respond it's probably 60 days. Probably took 54 days. Probably gave them 6 days of thing, and they probably could come up with an appeal in that time. That's crazy, dude. And this is all this has nothing to do with her. Why are you stepping in and defending Lockheed Martin? They came with the settlement. Unbelievable.
So Judge Jackson in Ross, 1, gave the axe to a settlement designed to benefit numerous black workers at one of the nation's largest employers.
This is the letter that he sent to Joe Biden, saying that Judge Jackson gave the axe to a settlement. Chop that motherfucking up. Designed to benefit numerous black workers at one of the nation's largest employers. That's just one thing. Let's go to number 2.
2, denied the injunctive relief agreed to by Lockheed Martin that would have addressed a root cause of systemic racial bias that could have been a model for a nation hungry for racial
Absolutely. She blocked it. She denied the injunctive relief, which means they're gonna change the system that they're gonna change the system, and Lockheed Martin agreed to that system and they agreed to a financial settlement, and they was gonna have to come up with another system to combat the racial bias in that company, and she blocked it.
3, denied the black workers the right to seek evidence to prove their claim of company-wide racial discrimination, and 4, knowingly frustrated the rights of black workers to appeal her decision.
So not only did she stop the shit, she made it so that they couldn't even appeal her decision. And this is a letter that the first black federal judge of Alabama sent to Joe Biden about his nominee, and guess what he said? He said, "Fuck you and your letter." He said, "I don't give a fuck about nothing about your letter." That's basically what he said, because he went ahead and nominated her anyway. And he telling me we don't want her. We don't want her. He don't give a fuck. You know why? Married to the white dude. So let's hear somebody else's take on this. It's Philip Scott. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's got some pretty interesting thing to say. So let's go over here and share this one. Let's see what his take is on it. We're we got some of the same ideas. He's got a new hashtag he wants to he wants to spread around, which I totally agree with. You know, he's pretty much on the same side. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I didn't like either one of them. I wrote in the Hood Trucker for my vote. You know what I'm saying? I wrote in the Hood Trucker for my vote. So it is what it is. So let's take look. That's okay. Look at this picture right here. That's the judge that's sworn her in, probably for her current position now. That's her husband, holding the Bible, right? He looks a little strange. And then that's her. This is the one that blocked the $22 million and the systematic changes that Lockheed Martin agreed to. This is the one right here. Absolutely, 100%. And guess what? It's her husband. And, you know, he kind of looks like him and Kamala Harris' husband could be brothers or something. But let's see what Phil's talking about.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we know that Jim Crow Joe has selected Ketanji Brown Jackson as his nomination to the Supreme Court. Now, I know everybody has talked about, you know, her husband, where she is married to Zaddy. And I'm not going to go down that route in this particular commentary. I think enough people have done that.
He married. I don't even want to say. Is that biracial fish? Is that from biracial fish, Daddy? Beware in the building. I see you.
But I want to focus on her decision that came out of Lockheed Martin. But the one thing I will say to talk about the Zaddy thing, just here for a second. Naturally, women will submit to whatever man they're with. And when it comes to men, in the sense, especially men outside our community, especially as a Black man, what I have noticed in my life of living, that men of other groups, you know, feel a certain way. Not all, but I've definitely seen some about us as Black men. And what I have noticed about the Zaddies is that when they get with Black women, remember I said before that women submit to their men. Normally, that's how it usually is. Usually the Zaddy about us as Black men. So what you'll see sometimes with some of these, not all, some of these sisters with the Zaddies, is that they got to make sure to let Zaddy know that I'm not going to go back to Black men. I feel like you feel about those brothers. So sometimes what you will see is, you know, some of those sisters will actually be more of a white supremacist in blackface, more than what a Karen would be.
Listen,
because they got.
I would explain why you deny Black people $22 million. Majestic Pharaoh in the building. Let me catch up and see who else is in there. Ronald Jones, he over here in the building. Let's see who else. That's all I can see right there. But make sure you hit that like button on the way in, please. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, you know, as he's saying, women's supposed to submit to their men, and if you got an insecure man, you may go over and above what you feel what you're supposed to do in order to make Zaddy feel more comfortable. Like, you know, apparently you know, he might feel a little self-conscious or something, thinking that you know, what it feel called sister girl. He called it something else later, but sister girl may try to holler at a Black man. And that's why she blocked it $22 million. Who knows? But, you know, that's one theory.
Got to reassure Zaddy that she will not go and, you know, turn her back on him to be with and defend Black men. That's just really what that is from what I've seen. Now, is that all that I've seen in my lifetime? No, it's not all. But when people like Jim Crow Joe selects you,
Jim Crow Joe. I'm gonna start calling him Crime Bill Joe.
For something, knowing his history of anti-black racism, I'm probably going to lean on what I just said about this particular woman. Now, let's get to why I'm leaning on that, because this particular case that we're going to look at here, and you clearly see the headline that a black federal judge had asked Jim Crow Joe not to tap Ketanji Brown Jackson for the Supreme Court. Now, they said the first black federal judge in Alabama sent a letter to Joe Biden asking him to pass over the leading contender for the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, U.W. Clement is a former state lawmaker
Ronald Jones, he sure did. He said Zaddy.
who served as a federal judge in Alabama from 1980 to 2009, petitioned the president not to consider Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson for the vacancy that will be filed upon the departure of Justice Stephen Breyer later this year. Of course, we know that he'll be retiring in June. Now, Jackson, who had been a front runner for the seat, currently sits on the Federal Appeals Court in Washington, D.C. Now, in the letter, Clemens said that there were several exceptionally well-qualified black female candidates for Supreme Court, but expressed a desire to see Jackson out of the contention for the nomination. Now, the retired judge pointed to the case of Ross versus Lockheed. It's a 2016 class action lawsuit brought forward on behalf of 5,500 black Lockheed Martin employees.
Yeah, we go skip ahead because we already heard about that. So let's see what else.
They even had a shooting at one of the plants in Mississippi with his open white supremacists at the time.
He's speaking on how racist the plants were. They knew about some white supremacists in their workforce and didn't do shit about it. See, Majestic Pharaoh says, Clarence Thomas Trucker, you remember the hair on the Coca-Cola? The hair on the Coca-Cola. I see Anita Hill. Yeah, I remember that. And Joe Biden was one of the first ones to interrogate her on the when she was being in her what do they call it, deposition, I think, not deposition, whatever that hearing was where they asked her questions. Joe Biden was one to ask a whole bunch of questions. I think that was Anita Hill, absolutely, it was her name.
Saying how he was going to harm and kill black folks, and he actually did it. Okay. This was a culture of white supremacists in Lockheed Martin, which they are a defense contractor of the United States military. Okay, so this is somebody that the U.S. government had worked with, this particular company, Lockheed Martin, and Sister Ketanji here,
girl,
married to Zaddy.
That's married to Zaddy. Sister girl that's married to Zaddy. Go ahead.
Says she refused to approve the request for settlement because, in her view, there were no common factual questions. Now, how do you do that? How? Right? But she's supposed to be the first black female judge. Like I said,
salute to you, GTM Basketball Channel. Salute to you. Welcome back. And I had some technical difficulties. I seen you in there early, but you know,
he's basically picking Clarence Thomas in the dress.
Yeah, and Majestic Pharaoh, that's what he just said. He still got in, absolutely. And he is saying that this is going to be Clarence Thomas in a dress.
So as it continues, Judge Jackson gave the axe to the settlement designed to benefit black workers, and one of the nation's largest employees has denied the injunctive relief agreed to by Lockheed.
But let's fast forward a little bit more, see what else his take is.
She just looks like me, and I'm so inspired.
Oh, let's back that up, because he's talking about what did he say? Black girl magic or something like that. Let's see what he gets.
Supposed to look like me, when I see her with it. Go ahead, they just need to sign off on this. No.
He's talking about how black people just need to sign off on it because she's black.
Plantation mammy, because that's what she is at this point.
Plantation mammy.
Plantation mammy decided to say, I'm not going to give $22 million to black people that are supposed to look like me, you know. Oh, when I see her, oh, she just looks like me. And oh, I'm so inspired. Oh, it's black girl magic. Oh, right. So this is what Black Girl Magic decided to do. This is what Black Girl Magic decided to do. This is the Black Girl Magic that Jim Crow Joe want around him. But look at his vice president.
Yeah, look at the vice president married to the white dude. Now the nominee for the Supreme Court, the first black woman married to Zaddy too.
His vice president had a history of locking up black parents and laughing about it, keeping black men in jail.
That's true. Remember, she was saying she had that press or that speech or press conference she did, where she was talking about that she won and had so much political capital that she needed to spend some of it by locking up mothers for truant children, as if that's going to somehow solve truancy.
Was supposed to be released because who's going to clean the jails?
Oh, that's the other thing. She was in California, and the federal judge told her to let them people out, and she was like, "Well, who's going to clean the jails? We need them for workers," which is, that's indentured servitude, they call it nowadays.
I gotta keep them. Even after the judge say she needs to release these people, she still was doing it. See, this is the track record of Jim Crow Joe with these sister girls, right? They got to make sure to hurt and harm black people to be around here. When I told y'all the other day that Jim Crow Joe is the most racist president that we've had in recent times, I meant that.
Because look, I can see what he's talking about. Look, he putting these black women out front because he knows that the Democratic Party has a substantial black woman presence in it. So he's gonna put these out here, these women out here for political reasons. But he also made sure that these black women he's putting out there are also married to white men. So he made sure of that. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. Y'all may or may not think that, but I don't think it's a coincidence at all. So then you got Crying Bill Joe. I'm not gonna call him Jim Crow Joe, but he's Crying Bill Joe. And if you saw that clip that he did where he was saying that when he was advocating for the crime bill, he was over there talking about, I don't care about where these kids come from, I don't care about where they what their situation is, it don't matter, lock them up and throw away the key. I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically lock them up and throw away the key, because I don't want them to rob my wife. They're super predators. I don't want them to rob my grandmother. That's he don't want his son to be robbed and all kinds of stuff. He went through the whole spiel, and that was one of the most racist pieces of legislation that you think of, because it didn't but lock a whole bunch of black. And a lot of it was for weed, and a lot of it was for heroin. But when it comes to black people, heroin is an opiate. So if heroin is an opiate, then that means that America has had an opioid crisis since like the 70s. But they didn't call it opioid crisis. They called it super predators. But when you put it in a pill form, and white people start getting hooked on opioid crisis, and we need to do a whole bunch of shit to combat the opioid crisis. But when when in the 70s and everybody and their mama was hooked on heroin, it wasn't a problem then. Crack, same thing. It's not until white people get a dose of that crack or get a dose of that meth and all that, then they want to start handing out crack pipes and needles and all kinds of crazy shit and spend $30 million on that, but can't give us that other $600 he promised me. You know what I mean? You can't get that other $600 on me. Come on, Clay. I mean, that whole fucking thing Crime Bill Joe, Jim Crow Joe. Listen, and Phil says he's one of the most racist presidents. Listen, he did a eulogy at one of them dudes. He was a senator that had ties with the Ku Klux Klan or something. He did his eulogy and shit. So what? He was the first black president's vice president. He's gonna stand on that. But Barack Obama didn't do shit for black people either.
Because look at the people that he's picking. Not continuing. Clement, the brother, provided an additional warning intended to buttress his opinion of Jackson's potential influence on the court. He said, and I quote, "Each of these considerations standing alone is a bell-sounding alarm that if Judge Jackson is appointed to the Supreme Court, simple justice and equality in the workplace will be sacrificed." Why isn't this being reported all over the place? You got a black former federal judge warning that this woman is not going to do nothing for black folk to help you, because look at her freaking track record with black people already. This is why Jim Crow Joe selected her, ladies and gentlemen. This is why, because she's anti-black. Once again, she is Clarence Thomas in the dress.
And, you know, as he says that, you know, I only found 3 people talking about this. It was him who's talking about it right now, the dude we just looked at, and there's another show called Rising, and they didn't go in depth to the extent that these two brothers did, but you know, they kind of asked the question. It's a kind of a white show, but they asked a question, like, because they had a black lawyer on there, and they was like, well, it's a little fishy, you know. But I only found 3 news sources of this story. And you don't think Joe Biden has something to do with that? He's going to kind of kill all that. This is the dude that said, you ain't black if you vote for him.
So when Clarence Thomas go away from the court, that's all right. They already got their plantation mammy sitting right there on the court. They're good. One of the best things that could happen is that woman don't get confirmed at this point. Now, Clement, they say, is listed as counsel at a class action law firm. It said Murphy and Skelet. It said, which is arguing on behalf of, you know, complainants. It said the White House in a statement pushed back against the characterization of Jackson in a letter. It said it's because of Judge Jackson's experience in the roles at all levels of the justice system, her character and legal brilliance, that President Biden nominated her to the D.C. Circuit Court. They wish she earned her 3rd Senate confirmation, and he's very proud of that decision. So, yeah, they wanted to push back against, you know, what was being said, right? They didn't want that to get too much traction. Now, they said before Jackson confirmed to the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, she was endorsed by the AFL-CIO, is the largest federation of unions. It said when Breyer announced last month he would step down from the Supreme Court at the end of the current term after 28 years on the bench, Biden, of course, reaffirmed his 2020 campaign pledge to nominate the first black woman to the body. It said some of the leading candidates, you know, they talked about, you know, which he did not pick. You know, I'm telling you about this is Judge J. Michelle Childs of South Carolina. Now,
yeah, that's the one that Lindsey Graham and all that. But let's fast forward a little bit. See what else he's talking about.
Of those people in that community, for sure, they don't have to be. I told y'all, to be a white supremacist, you don't have to be in the freaking Proud Boys.
Exactly.
All you have to do is just believe that you're better, that you should be in charge on
just like Biden does. You ain't black if you don't vote for him.
Top, that you should rule everything, and no one else should. I can imagine what some of the comments go on around her, just based on this brother's warning about, and just based off that decision alone. Like I said, it was so disgusting, the white supremacy and Lockheed Martin against our brothers and sisters, and this plantation mammy.
Plantation mammy. I mean, listen. What else can you call her? Because you stay in and gave the big corporation.
Sat up and messed off the settlement for black people.
Sure did.
See, like I said, this man here I'm telling y'all, the track record of this man is so anti-black. And then, you know, you still got these emotional, and I always say emotional Black people, you know, still crying every time I mention something, you know, about crazy Trump. You know, I just mentioned a fact about him and never could debunk when I say he really didn't put no policies together to harm Black people. He really didn't. He wasn't cutting checks out to all these other groups. And nobody wasn't getting checks like that. I'm cool with that. You know, if I'm you know, because I told y'all my attitude, like, if I ain't getting it, I don't want nobody else get it either. You know, if you getting it, I need to get it too. You know, I'm a big believer and we need to push for you know, and act like other groups for a change. And I'm always going to push that on Black people. Think about ourselves. That's it. Other people, well, that's their business because that's how they treat us.
That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know why these motherfuckers giving a fuck about Ukraine, and they over there kicking Black people off trains and shit. I seen a video today. Some idiot, Black dude gonna go over to Ukraine and fight for Ukraine. Meanwhile, you gonna go over there and they gonna fucking around and think you like one of them fucking students that kicking off the train. They gonna kick your ass off the train, like a dumb motherfucker.
But we're the only group that they'll pick people that'll be against our own people. I mean, like I said, just a straight, you know, from what I'm seeing here, you know, so far, and what I'm hearing and what I'm not, just the vibe that lady gives, man. Like I said, they pick it a plantation mammy.
Absolutely.
And of course, you know, you got the ski-wees and all the rest of them all excited about this plantation mammy. Excited about it. Well, what are you excited about? What are you excited about? She has a track record. She's not gonna do nothing for Black people.
Yeah, what are you excited about? Ain't finna do nothing for Black people. Just want to see something Black in there. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, everything that glitters ain't gold.
She messed it off. She hurt and harmed Black people. She did it. She did it.
And don't think twice.
And why did she did it, ladies and gentlemen? Because once again, and I quote, she refused to approve the settlement because in her view, there were no common factual questions.
Whatever that means.
That's what she chose to do.
Whatever that means.
She didn't care about the N-words being used. No. She didn't care about any of that. How Black people treated, the hostile work environment.
Hell no.
No, not sister girl here.
Hell no.
Nope. So yeah, that's what you're getting on the court, ladies and gentlemen. Plantation mammy, Clarence Thomas in a dress. This is your Black girl, a Black woman on the Supreme Court. Jim Crow Joe, he's batting 1,000. He sure know how to pick them.
Yeah, he does.
You know how to pick them very, very well, ladies and gentlemen. This is why y'all need to stop asking them folks for anything. You asking them folks to give you something like that. If they picking them, once again, if they pick them, they're going to pick a shucking and jiving raccoon. That's who they're going to pick, male or female.
He said,
why are you constantly asking them to pick something for you? No, you supposed to select the people. You say, this is the person we want because this person comes from the grassroots. This person comes from the stall. We know who they are. You tell them who you want. You don't sit up there and say, hey, just pick somebody because they're going to pick the worst of the worst. They're going to pick Steven from Django. They're going to put him on the Supreme Court. That's what.
Steven from Django. But look, I know you got to know that he knows who the hell that judge was who sent him the letter and said, do not put her in there. We don't want her. Look at the Lockheed Martin case. What did he do? He said, fuck you. We're doing it anyway because I'm doing this.
They like. I mean, you ain't learned nothing by now, so not if she's confirmed. You know, you're gonna have, you know, plantation mammy and freaking Steven, you know, up there on the Supreme Court. That's amazing. And then Clarence Thomas' wife, she's a freaking Karen all the way around. Shoot.
That's it. That is true. Clarence Thomas is married to a white woman. So isn't it? Do you think it's? Wait a minute. I just thought about that. Okay? So now you mean 3 times in a row? 3 times in a row. Okay. Thurgood Marshall. He was on the Supreme Court, and I think he was married to a black woman. But you got Clarence Thomas vice president and this new nominee right here are married to white people. That's a coincidence. Wow, incredible.
Woman crazy. That woman is hella crazy. That's amazing to me. How they pick them. Old school way. And if you like the show and you greatly appreciate it, consider donating a love offering.
Listen to what's his name? His show, Phil. He got like 2, 3, 4 different shows, but his one is Philip Scott Experience. He's got a ton of shows. He's been around forever, so he's got some. He's no stranger to YouTube. So look, felt compelled to do a live about this because this is crazy. Crime Bill Joe, he picking up right where he left off. I mean, he didn't do a whole lot as vice president, but he did. He shook up some shit as a senator, and one of the things he did is he created a crime bill, and he ain't got no apologies for it, none. Even though statistics show that it was a vastly more detrimental to black people than it is any other race. Yet, black people came out in droves to vote for that dude, and yet he can send $7 or $8 billion to Ukraine, who's over there denying black people passage out of the country by stopping them and kicking them off trains and whatever else. And then you got these reporters that are reporting in a way that they're saying these are civilized people, they shouldn't be happening to them, they're blonde haired, they're blue eyed, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff, meaning that they're not Middle Eastern people, they're not all these other refugee looking type people that we're used to seeing. These are really white people. And it shouldn't be happening. It's crazy. And he gonna give them money, but yet go ask him for reparations and see what he said. You don't think we're gonna take $7 billion? What's $7 million divided by what is it? How many black people in America? Probably 30% of 300 something. Probably let's say 100 million. What's the like if he was to say, okay, I'm gonna give y'all $7.5 billion. How much is that divided by 100 million? I don't have my calculator. Let me see. So if there's 100 million blacks in America, let's do the math on that. Let's see what we get and see if y'all would be happy with that. Let's see, 7.5 billion. 750 million. It won't let me go that high. Why won't let me go no more zeros? It only go 750 million. So how you do that? Let me see. Hey to the bitch. Hold on. This motherfucker won't let me. Man, this motherfucker. Okay, we're gonna go on the internet with the internet calculator because it won't let me. It won't even let me type a billion in. Hold on. Let's get another calculator here. Okay, calculator. So if we did reparations, first of all, matter of fact, since I'm on Google, how many black people is in America? Let's see, how many blacks in America? How many blacks in America? That's even less. Let's see, the black. Let's see. Okay, this is as of August 2021. Let me share this. By the way. Okay, let me share this. Okay, look. As of August 12th, 2021, Let's click on this real quick. See if it'll let me do it. Let me get this off the screen real quick. Is he like, yeah, my phone, my phone. My internet over here is the internet's not the greatest. I'm on mobile internet, so please bear with me. But we're gonna look at this. Okay. I don't know if it would answer the question. Let's see. Let's see. This is just kept with the. Okay. In 2020, say the African American combination population grew by 87.7% since 2010. In 2020, the Black or African alone population, 41 million, accounted for 12.4% of all people living in the United States, compared to 38.9 and 12.6 in 2010. Or compared with 38.9 in 2006. So the population grew. So look, if he gave us 7, okay, so let's go to the calculator. Let's go to the calculator. So let's go. Where's my? Okay, let's go to calculator. Okay. We type nothing code up. So 7. The hell? Oh, come on, dude. Sure. Oh, the other way. Hold on. So okay, so we got 7, 5. Okay, that's 70. That's 750 million. No, that's 1. Let's see. That's that's 75. It's 6 zeros in it. Yeah, 6 zeros in the middle. That's 75. One more at 750. That's 7.5 billion. That's 3, 6, 8 zeros. So that's that's a million. That's 7,500 million. So yeah, that's 500. Okay, yeah, that's 7.5 billion. Divided by 41 with 6 zeros. 3 equals. That's 182,000. That's 182,000. Wait a minute. 182. Is that $182? Come on now. Wait a minute. Maybe that's not enough. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's get out of this. Okay, so let's go. Let's try that. 41 million. 3, 6, 41 million times 182. That's $182. Yep, that's what it is. Let's see, that's 3, 6. That's 7 point. Yeah, that's 7.4 billion. So if maybe that's he doesn't do it because it's not enough, because that would mean that 41 million people would get $182. Maybe it's not. Excuse me. Maybe that's not enough money. Okay, so we did the math. It's not enough money. That's why he doesn't do it. Let's see. See, look back in history, the Republicans get credit for freeing slaves. That's because Democrats were where the Republicans are now. So whatever happened, it switched. And Republicans used to be more for Black people until something happened, and Now, Democrats act like they're more. They've got black people convinced that they're more for black people, but you know, the proof is in the pudding, and they ain't been serving too much pudding. Let's see. Republicans voted against anti-lynching 3. So don't say Republicans are good; they are just bad at the other side, right? See, and they do that because they don't want their constituents to think that they're doing anything for black people. Because most of the Republicans have constituents that don't like black people. And if they do anything that remotely looks like they're doing something for black people, they're gonna talk shit. Just like they were talking shit. Remember they was when Lindsey Graham told the truth and said that Donald Trump is tripping, basically, and you know we need to you know, we're going far enough with this dude, blah blah blah. And after he said what he said, they hunted him down in the airport and was sweating him all in the airport. He said even worse stuff when they were running against each other in the primaries and stuff. He said even worse that he's a liar and all this. And it's crazy how you can call somebody a liar and a cheat and a con man and say all of that type of shit. And then go and campaign for him, kiss his ass. Like you had Ted Cruz, Trump said that his wife was ugly, and the next thing you know, he over there on the phone, you know, doing the phone campaign thing for him, which was crazy. Republicans spread misinformation and conspiracy. I think Democrats do the same thing; they just do it different. Now, I think Democrats and the Republicans, to me, it would be like maybe the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. They both play football, which Democrats and Republicans both play politics, right? It's just you have one team, like you have the Rams, and then you have another team, like you have the Niners. And that wind blowing hard. It's shaking this truck all over the place, right? So you have one team and the other team, right? And then you have the goal for both teams is to win. Each team has its own way of winning. So Republicans have their way of winning. The Democrats have their way of winning. But here's the thing. I don't think that either party is for black people because, again, we look at what they're doing with the LGBT. They paying monthly checks. They've given lump sums to people that did get married because their state wouldn't allow them to. So he made an executive order. Ukraine over there getting billions of dollars. The Asians got a hate bill. What do black people get besides deadly water and the fiasco that happened? And then the Democrats come in and save the day for the Republican criminals, and they drop all the charges. They fire the prosecutors and drop all the charges. That's when they were pursuing those officials. That was the Republicans doing that. Then as soon as the midterms came, and then the governorship switched hands, and then so when the governor switched hands, the Democrat, he appointed an attorney general who's Democrat, fired all of the prosecutors that were pursuing the case for like a couple years, at least a couple, fired all of them, started brand new, and then dropped all the charges. But that's the same thing that they did to Donald Trump recently. They was ready to go with some charges, and one of the higher ups, I don't know if it was the attorney general or whatever of New York, maybe it's the top prosecutor in the district attorney. The district attorney dropped all the charges against Trump And then the very next day, the prosecutors who've been investigating that shit since January 6th, they resigned. They was like, "Fuck y'all! Y'all doing some stupid shit." So again, Democrats and Republicans are one in the same. They letting each other off. I don't know about, in recent times. Haven't been paying attention, but I don't know about in recent times where Republicans have let Democrats off. But I know 2 instances where the Democrats let off the officials responsible for the Flint water crisis, and they were being charged with like manslaughter, some shit like that, and the Democrats came in and dropped all the charges. And then here you go again. You have prosecutors that's ready to indict Donald Trump, and you had a Democratic district attorney said, "No, we're not doing that." So what that mean? January 6th, nobody got arrested from the government. They were egging them on, right? And then that whole fiasco, they don't even want to. You got lawmakers that was in there talking about, I don't know what y'all tripping on. It was just another day. Yeah, that's why he was hiding in your office. Of course, it was just another day. Say, if you made me choose, I'll go Democrat, but they bad, but not as bad as Republicans, where they got all the far right Nazis. But here's the thing: if you choose one bad that's less bad than the other, you're still choosing bad. You're still choosing bad. Now, the only way, and I'm gonna start pushing this too. The only way that Democrats will finally find out that we ain't playing is if we don't vote at all. If you can't bring yourself to vote for a Republican, then don't even vote at all. And people will say you're wasting your vote. No, it's basically a protest. You can protest by voting Republican, which I would never do, but then you can also protest by letting people know, listen, we're not playing no games. You're not doing nothing for us. Go get them Asians and have them vote for you. Go get them LGBT community people that you're giving all that money to. Let them vote for you. Go get the Ukrainians over there, you're giving them money. Let them vote for you. But you ain't giving us shit. We're not voting for shit. So that's why I'm gonna start putting on all my new videos probably from here forward. Sit this one out. Hashtag sit this one out. Sit it out. We're not voting unless you give us something. Our votes are for sale. You don't give us nothing, we ain't give you nothing. Why am I? You ain't give me shit. Fuck you. You sound stupid, like saying picking McDonald's in and out, both bad, but choose. No, you sound stupid by saying I'm going to choose bad no matter what. That's stupid. So how do you think that a Democrat going to get the message if you keep voting? Didn't you hear me when I said in the beginning? You one of the ones that they're ignoring. Republicans ignore you because they know you don't get your vote, and Democrats ignore you because they got your vote. And guess what? You just confirmed it that you're going to do that same goofy shit. Black people are the laughing stock of the voting block because we don't get shit. We don't get shit. Yet we still vote for Democratic Party. Trucker watch YouTubers Vosh and Destiny. They debate people with different ideas. You might like their channels if interested. I might go check them out. I don't have time to do a lot of shit. And look, what's that? Hashtag sit this one out. You might just start doing that because look, what happens when Tommy Hill or Gucci said they don't want your business. Certain people, you find out a certain company that you used to frequent do some crazy racist stuff. What do? You boycott, right? Why not boycott the Democratic Party? Because they need the black vote to win. But yet, if you ask them for something, they always got a problem. They got a problem giving it to you. Let the agents ask them for something. They hurry, they're breaking their neck. They're making executive orders and everything. All the time. Let Ukraine, the blonde haired, blue eyed people that they're reporting on in the news all day long. Let them need some. They hurried up and go get an executive order, give them $7-8 billion over there. Why we can't get $7-8 billion? 42. That's $182. I need that $182. To see, Bernie Sanders was a good Democrat to vote for, but nobody liked him. He wasn't mainstream. No, that's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe. The reason because he went to Nevada and they had him shook. Then you had Barack Obama in there. Then you had Jim Clyburn, but he gets all his money from corporate entities over there, resurrecting Crime Bill Joe over there. They wanted you to believe. Nobody wanted him. Man, he had so many crowds and he had the young people on him and all that shit. But where he fucked up is he folded. He didn't have a backbone either. So once he got the pressure, then he was talking about, he wanted to be on board with Joe Biden and all that type of shit. That muscle was like, nah, get up out of here, dude. Politician. Like look at Raphael Warnock and all these other ones that it was the big push to get them elected. What the fuck they done did? Nothing. Not a fucking thing. What they done did? Nothing. Trucker, they got to bring back the dislike button. Your stream is bad. You lagging. I want to leave a dislike. Listen, I'm the hood trucker. Listen, sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good. I'm on the road. I'm all over the place. I'm international with it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I tested it. It's supposed to be good. I don't know what's going on. But look, awesome discussion. I had to get this live in because I just felt passionate about the fact that Crime Bill Joe nominated a plantation mammy to the Supreme Court, blocking money for black people, all that type of shit. So we're gonna get up out of here. I gotta get up early in the morning. I got a load to pick up early. And I need to get some rest. So with that, enjoy the rest of your evening. It was awesome. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you would, hit that Cash App and that PayPal. Join the member section. We're gonna start putting more content in there and support the channel so we can keep making these live videos and shit. So let's see. One last thing, Trucker, you forgot why they pass bills. Joe Manchin. Yeah, we talked about Joe Manchin, but listen, we only got time for so much bullshit. But Joe Manchin, absolutely, he's a clown, and Kirsten Sinema is another clown and just holding up the show. And they're Democrats in name only. They're dinos, like Republicans call rhinos. Yeah, we're talking about them. We're talking about them. So good night, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we're gonna get back at you real soon. Take care.